And welcome guys, this is Lieutenant Nutcase bringing you another Weapon Wednesday video where I review the best setups, both in class and in attachments for certain weapons in Modern Warfare 2. This week we are looking at the STB 556, and I've been so looking forward to this because it is by far my favourite assault rifle in the game so far. It's a rugged all-rounder that can actually deal with SMGs at close range thanks to its insane mobility and insane damage per second output, right at the top of the assault rifle category, all alongside the Lackman 556. So the STB is obviously better known as the AUG, the AUG, Sig Sauer model, but they've renamed it as they have with so many weapons in this game. So yeah, guys, let's get into the nitty-gritty of how to tune this weapon, what attachments to put on and things, so bear with me and watch this video to get the most from this beautiful gun. So guys, we're going to kick it off and look at the attachments we've got on it. And then with the actual tuning of these weapons. So we've got the 18-inch Bruin Gorilla for the barrel, the VLK Laser 7MW, the SC SRO 7 optic, the Bruin MX9 stock, and the FTAC Ripper 56 underbarrel. These just bring out the range and accuracy and a bit of recoil control and teases out a little bit more handling. A slight cost to mobility, but it's barely noticeable. And actually, like, when you're playing with it, it's mostly about the accuracy that you get out of it. And with that slight help from the recoil control, you don't have to worry about, like, tap firing or anything until you're really far out. So it brings out the best of this gun. And to get even more from it, we'll have to look at the tuning on the 18-inch Bruin Gorilla, the FTAC Ripper, and the optic. But these are all a bit up to you. This is what suits me best. You guys can have a play around with it, and maybe even you'd want to tune these stock as well, which I've left as stock. So what I've done is lean into the recoil steadiness ever so slightly, and that's mainly the reason why we've lost mobility, and the aim down sight speed. That's set up for how I like to play it aggressive. If you're planning on using this for a bit more range, you could always tune it more towards the damage range, but I'd recommend you don't do that just because you're visible with this laser. So if you're having to aim down sight for longer periods of time, you're just giving yourself away. So the numbers on that is I've added 0.1 pound of weight, and that adds recoil steadiness, and I've took length off, minus 0.14 inches, which is about what I am for the aim down sight speed. So yeah, like that just adds some serious like attack to the gun, and that's what suits me, but play around with it. So I've not made any tweaks to the aim walking speed versus aiming idle stability, but all I've done is add 0.13 ounces of weight to it, and that just helps with recoil stabilization. There's plenty of things taking aim down sight speed off this gun, so it's not too much of an issue. If you want it to be faster, then go lean into aim down sight speed, but this is what I find is the best balance for me. And the final one is the SZ SRO 7, and I've taken a bit of weight off, so that's just helping the aim down sight speed. I weren't overly fussed about like the recoil, not the recoil, but the flinch resistance, and because I'm using this mostly for close range, I've gone and added 0.12 inches to the eye position, just to make it a bit better for the close range. If I'm being honest though, as well, it doesn't necessarily mean range. It's down to personal preference, this, and depends on how you see yourself using that gun and how much of a field of view in your peripheral you're going to want. So yeah, just play around with this, because this is probably the weirdest one to play around with, and it doesn't make all that much difference to the accuracy, but all the difference to how well you use the gun. So how do we get a really aggressive but sturdy gun to reach its full potential? Well, I've paired it with a combat knife just because I'm working on the combat knife challenges at the minute, and I also think it suits it for being able to move over open spaces really quickly. Smoke grenade also helps with the concealment to let you do that, and drill charges allow you to just murk campers. So these are just like no-brainers for me, particularly with the way I'm playing, moving through open spaces and things, to get into good positions rather than fight my way to good positions and possibly die. The combat knife with its mobility speed is just a godsend for that, and so is the smoke grenade. I've got the aggression perk package on. This is one of my custom builds, and it's double time and scavenger as the basic perks. Again, being able to sprint for further definitely helps with the challenges of getting to cover, which covers everything in this game, so that's a no-brainer. Scavenger just stops you running out of ammo, and trust me, like, when you're on long kill streaks, you need that ammo. I've got fast hands on, just to keep you in that fight. If you have to duck out to reload, you won't be out as long. And you can also swap to your combat knife if you want to sprint, or if you get caught short and have to return fire, then you're back to your primary a bit quicker. And quick fix, because why wouldn't you have quick fix on a gun where you're just constantly taking out multiple enemies? It's a no-brainer. Now, yeah, that's simply it. The field upgrades, I've got munitions box, because whilst you can pick up like ammunition from dead enemies, you're not picking up drill charges and smoke grenades off the ground, so definitely helps you to reset when you get a break in play. And because I'm having so much fun with the knife, I've also got dead silence in here, but I don't really rely on it. If you're actually in a busier area, it shouldn't make all that much difference having dead silence on, because of the simple fact that dead silence is only as good as anything else. Yes, it's a beast of a upgrade, but if you've got a load of ordnance, a load of gunfire and things, people aren't going to be pinpointing your footsteps after the last rework of the audio anyway, so it's not a huge issue. But yeah, this is how you get this class to be absolutely beastly and aggressive. So yeah, I'll leave the rest of this game to play out for you guys, and I hope you've enjoyed this. If you found it useful, hit that subscribe, and I'll see you next week for next week's Weapon Wednesday. And I have no clue what it'll be, so you'll just have to tune in and see whether it's a gun that you can see yourself using. Bye for now. This has been Lieutenant Nutcase.